The old school building stood like a relic of the past, its walls echoing with the memories of generations. As a security guard, I'd grown accustomed to its silent corridors and creaking floors. The night shift was usually uneventful, just me, my flashlight, and hours of silence. But there was one night that remains etched in my memory, a night when the stillness was shattered by something unexplainable. It began as a whisper of unease, a feeling that crept up my spine as I made my routine checks. The doors were all locked, the windows secured, yet I couldn't shake the sensation of being watched. I tried to laugh it off, to convince myself it was just the isolation playing tricks on my mind. As the hours ticked by, the building seemed to come alive. The distant slam of a door echoed through the empty halls, a sound that should have been impossible. I checked the security monitors, but they showed nothing amiss. I ventured down the corridors, my footsteps muffled by the thick carpet, the flashlight in my hand casting a pool of light that seemed too feeble against the enveloping darkness. The air grew colder as I approached the source of the noise, a chill that seeped through my uniform and settled in my bones. I found myself outside the old gymnasium, its double doors looming before me like the gates to another world. I hesitated, my hand hovering over the handle, every instinct screaming at me to turn back. But it was my job to ensure the building was secure. So I pushed the doors open and stepped inside. The gym was shrouded in shadows, the moonlight streaming through the high windows, casting an otherworldly glow. I scanned the room, the beam of my flashlight cutting through the darkness, revealing nothing but the dust motes dancing in the air. And then I heard it, a soft giggle, the sound of a child's laughter, coming from the far end of the gym. My heart raced as I turned toward the sound, my rational mind struggling to find a logical explanation. There was no one there, no sign of life in the vast space. I took a step forward, and the laughter stopped as abruptly as it had started. The silence that followed was oppressive, heavy with anticipation. I was about to leave, to write it off as a figment of my imagination, when I saw it, a shadow that seemed to detach itself from the wall. It was darker than the darkness around it, a void where no light could penetrate. It moved with a fluid grace, its form shifting and changing as I watched, frozen in place. The shadow crept closer, and I could feel a malevolent presence emanating from it. It was then that I realized this was no ordinary shadow. It was something else, something ancient and terrible. I felt a fear take hold, a fear that rooted me to the spot, even as every instinct urged me to flee. But then the survival instinct took over. I turned and ran, my breath coming in ragged gasps as I bolted for the doors. I could feel the shadow's gaze on my back, a weight that threatened to drag me down. I didn't look back, not until I was safely outside, the cool night air a balm to my frayed nerves. I still work at the school, the memory of that night a constant shadow at the edge of my consciousness. I don't know what I saw, or if it will ever return, but I do know one thing. The darkness holds more than just the absence of light, and some things are beyond any understanding. As I walk the halls each night, I can't help but wonder what secrets the old building hides, and what other mysteries might reveal themselves in the quiet of the night. Hope you enjoyed that story, and I'll see you in the next one. See you on the flip side.